I have new orders for you, Protector. This time I don't need you to take life but to protect it. The Telemus family have hired us to provide them with bodyguards. Pilu Telemus, a retainer of the Sanim family, thinks that her and her husband Guvon's lives are in danger and has contracted us to provide them with protection until they can safely flee Akamora. With the growing animosity between the opposing noble families, an attempt to hit the relatively defenseless Telemus is highly possible. Therefore we're not taking any chances. I'm sending both you and Circus Leonos to guard the Telemus. Leonos is already in Telemus Manor. Go there, Protector, and be vigilant. Directions? When you exit the guild hall, descend the steps leading south and go past both the Very and Indaran manors. When you reach the ledge with Priest Orezi's pagoda, look southeast. You should see the Telemus Manor on the northern face of the central islet on the other side of the fall, right below the Sanim Manor. If you know levitation magic you can shortcut here. If not, just continue down the stairs until you reach the plaza where the Laughing Goblin and the underground bazaar are. From there climb the stairs leading east which go around the islet. After you arrive at the ledge where the Morag Tong Hall is located, there'll be a crossroad. Take the stairs leading down and follow the way. The Telemus Manor is at the end of the road.
Always happy to chat with people I like. And I like you.
You are the one whom the Fighters Guild sent to Necrom to slay the failed assassin, aren't you? I have heard of your surprising act of mercy. Short-sighted? Damaging to your guild's reputation? Undoubtedly so. But you should know there are some who appreciate the decision you made if only for the unexpectedness of it.
Yes, Outlander, what may I do for you?
The stones of Akamora are ancient and its gorges are deep. To walk its streets is to balance on a fragile thread. Just take itsy-bitsy steps and don't look down. Remember, Ada. Itsy-bitsy.
I'm very happy to make your acquaintance.
Under sun and sky, Outlander, we greet you. I am never too busy.
I really can't help
for a
you,
good
stranger.
talk. Go ahead. I am listening. Under sun and sky, Outlander, we greet you warmly.
I've got things covered on this floor, Ada. Head upstairs and guard Pilu Telemus. Stay sharp. I've got a nasty feeling in my gut. Why aren't you protecting my wife, Outlander Shield? She's upstairs. All alone, vulnerable to attackers.
So, the bodyguards from the Outlander Guild have finally arrived. Took you long enough. Lord Sanim wouldn't dispatch any of his guards to protect us, so I had no other choice but to hire your guild. Cliff racers are flying low over Akamora, so to speak, and a low-ranking retainer must use whatever means to survive. I am certain someone is out to get me and my husband. Oh, an agent working for Novus Sinim is never short of enemies. Not these days. Perhaps, when we're safely far away from this place, I'll hire your guild to search for them. And hey? Did you hear that? A noise. It's coming from downstairs where my husband is. Quickly now, see what's going on.
There is no escape.
I'm being attacked. Help! There is no escape! I've heard a lot about you.
Report back to me when the Telemas have no further need for bodyguards. What? They are both dead? And Circus Leonos, too? Shivi, help us. This is horrible. Some might say that the guild is finished once the word gets around. We have failed miserably. 2 clients have been murdered. One of our own has been killed in action. Unless we determine who is behind this assassination, I fear that no one will ever trust us with protection again. My sister Flalsaw is the captain of the town's guard. Her guards will never do a proper investigation, not with all the tension between the opposing noble families. My sister will rather look the other way than risk sparking a house war with a murder investigation. No, Protector. We are the closest thing to the imperial law in this town. It will be up to you to find out the culprit behind all this. Talk to Flalsaw. She can be found in the guard tower north of here. Tell her about the assassination and that we're going to investigate the case on the sly. Off the record, she might agree to help us. As the guard captain, she knows more about the local politics than I do. I'm certain she has a good idea who might have hired the assassins. Remember that the situation is very precarious. The guild standing in Akamora is hanging by a thread.
Welcome to the cliff city of Akamora, Ada.
I'm very happy. I can spare a few moments, if you care to talk.
So good to see you.
Greetings, warrior of spell. I don't suppose you are here because of the Dridria sightings, are you? I have heard news of their violent deaths. My sister was right to guess that there will be no investigation on our part. The way I see it, the case is closed. You killed the assassins, didn't you? That is something I can live with to preserve peace in Akamora. The Telemas were Sinim retainers. The Sinims and the Indaran family along with all their allies are locked in a behind-the-scenes power struggle over the lordship of this town. An investigation would inevitably pull all the animosity between the rivaling nobles out into the open. And if we were to imply even slightly that one of the families was behind the assassination, the three forbid it, that would trigger a violent chain of events. Then Lalalvo has become more imperial than I had thought. She'd be wiser to move her precious guild away from here. But I will help you. Be aware that this is all off the record. You're not a representative of the law. If I receive word that you've caused any unnecessary discord in town with your inquiries, I will have my guards jail you rather than risk having the noble families warring against each other. Understood. 3 possible candidates come to mind. First is the Indaran family and their allies, the Very family. I'd be extremely careful with the way you conduct your inquiries with the nobles. Offending them would be a huge mistake. Then there's Saleri Dinaran, a former Indaran hireling who held a personal grudge against Pilou Telemas. I'd also recommend you talk to Lord Novus Sinim. Since he employed Pilou Telemas, he might have a good idea which one of her enemies could be behind all this. Novus Sinim has been the undisputed lord of Akamora for ages. But now Siraz Indaran has been acting bolder and bolder, questioning the Sinim's position. The lesser nobles are choosing sides, conspiring and digging spider holes, preparing for hostilities. Or so it would seem. There's a strange feeling lingering about in the air of this town. It is as if everyone was under a malicious charm. I'd like to get to the bottom of this, but I fear it would endanger the fragile peace we have. Novus Sinim is the lord of Akamora. His manor is located on the very peak of the rocky central islet. It's rather easy to spot.
Do you have something to say, Outlander? Yes, Outlander, what may I do for you?
Under sun and sky, Outlander, we greet you warmly. Please join me. Greetings, Outlander. Don't I know you from somewhere?
How are you? What do you want of me, Outlander?
Go ahead. I am listening.
Isn't the view from here marvelous? It is but one of the many luxuries I enjoy by being the wife of Novus Sinim. I am glad to be married to such a dignified and righteous man.
I enforce both Indorial customs and Imperial law. Move along and mind your manners. Novus Sinim is the Lord of Akamora. He has tried for years to gain a seat on the Indorial Council, but his attempts have always been obstructed by the wealthy Indaran family. His authority in Akamora has never been absolute, and many other noble families openly ignore his influence.
I don't know where to begin.
You are here to ask questions from old Lord Sinim, aren't you? Why did you have to come? It is not polite. The Fighters Guild should remember the roots of its origin. Your guild merely continues the tradition of foreign occupation brought to this continent by the Sea Snakes. That is how my father and the other nobles see you. A foreign invader. That is your burden. Never forget it, shield-bearer of serpents, like I will never forget mine. There is a history to this place that began long before the Empire and your guild came here, before the egg mines and the noble families of Akamora were established, even before the rise of the Shivi and ruin of Dun Akafel. Thousands of years ago a wind whispered to our ancestors from the Mephilan Valley, and our ancestors would honor it and listen. Those who remember still listen. Where do they come from, you might ask? Perhaps they will find you first. Novus Sinim, Lord of Akamora, can be found upstairs.
I'm
I am
very
never
happy
too
to make
busy
your acquaintance.
for a good talk.
What business could an outlander like yourself have with the Lord of Akamora? I mourn over their deaths, but I do not know who to blame other than your guild for its incompetence. I advise you not to bother neither the Indarans nor the Veris with your inquiries, however. Whether they're innocent or not is irrelevant. An outlander asking questions would offend them either way. And frankly, these questions offend me as well. You should talk with the Morag Tong. Though the thugs you describe sound nothing like the Tong, they might at least know who they were. What business could an outlander like yourself have with the Lord of Akamora? Did Sirol Volane tell you that? Those of the ancestral Chimer who would in time become the noble families of Akamora were indeed once ardent worshippers of the Daedroth Mephala. Though today we still recognize the importance of the good Didra, we are loyal servants of the Tribunal. The daughter of my good friend Lara Ernham has always been a little, bordering on soul sickness, if you will. I wouldn't believe everything she says if I were you.
Isn't the view from here marvelous? It is but one of the many luxuries I enjoy by being the wife of Novus Sinim. Akamora owes its prosperity to the efficient management of its egg mines.
Walk with virtue.
Akamora has quite enough of you outlanders here already, Ada. Please keep your visit short. That amateurish butchering was not our doing, and I have no idea who the thugs who carried it out were. You should talk with Federal Verothron downstairs. He often keeps company with unsavory people and might have known them.
3.
I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Federal Vero Thran. How can I help you? Do I look like a rat to you? I don't discuss other people's affairs with someone I don't like. Your words, they make me feel, well, special. 3 thugs wielding poison blades? Yeah, I knew them all right. Bunch of lowlifes who killed for little coin. Often screwed up their contracts. Left witnesses like you alive. Any self-respecting noble family would have never risked hiring them. I don't know who did though. Yes, associate. Are you here to see what writs are open? We are not accepting writs now, Ada.
Please join me.
I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Medenfoth Hiren. How can I help you? I am a savant. I am a man of wide learning and cosmopolitan tastes, a well-traveled man, educated, refined in manner, able to converse on various topics with authority, and a man ever ready to defend his honor, and the honor of my companions. In short, you see before you a gentleman. I can discourse upon history, speechcraft, language, and customs. And, for a fee, I offer training that will permit you to share a few of my many virtues. The speechcraft discipline is the art of influencing others through verbal persuasion. Those skilled at speechcraft can inspire trust and confidence in others, making the listener more willing to divulge information or to entrust important tasks to the speaker.
Yes.
I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Idros Lithri. How can I help? Sorry, don't really know that much about her.
I don't know where to be.
The Talbani Isles are secluded islands that lie off the northeasternmost coast of Tamriel, divided from the Morrowind mainland by the Malagriad Channel. The archipelago consists of 4 major islands, 3 of which are populated by the xenophobic Great House Telvanni. Von, the largest island, hosts Port Telvanni's, the largest Telvanni city in all of Morrowind. Home of House Telvanni's Parliament of Bugs, the immense Telthenim Tower, and a bustling port. This massive Sadrith conurbation is a pillar of the eastern slave trade, but scorns contact with the West. Visitors, especially those from the Imperial West, may be surprised at the city's hostility towards Outlanders. Port Telvanni's prizes its detachment from Imperial law and culture, and the Telvanni care little for the facades of mercantile custom that would attract Imperial business. Travelers, especially those affiliated with the guilds or the Legion, should come prepared to be shunned by locals. For most Westerners, Port Telvanni's is best left alone. West of Port Telvanni's, on the tip of Von, lies Sada's Plantation, a large agricultural steading where skilled Telvanni raise plain striders and netch. Tel Sada's, an old Velathi outpost from the Second Era, towers over these fields. Across the strait and south of Vaughn is Ga Sadrith. Like Sadrith Mora on Barden Fell, Ga Sadrith is a more welcoming Talbani port city, friendly to outsiders and merchants. Tel Daries, the Talbani Tower Court, is here. Should you find yourself in criminal trouble on the Isles, you may end up pleading your case before the local magisters. To the northwest of Sada's plantation and Vaughn itself lies the uninhabited island locals call Bolver. Also known as the Isle of Arches, Bolver is holy to the Tribunal Temple. Take care. At night, some say, ill sounds can be heard echoing across the waters. Across the water from the imperial town of Baloira lies Bolvarden Isle, home of the tiny village of Baramu. The most remote of the Talbani Isles, this windswept and rain-drenched island has little in the way of services. To the east of Tel Mora, across the inner sea, lies the imperial outpost city of Fire Watch. Here, a traveler can find services from the imperial guilds, a hospitable place to rest, and great deals from merchants, a rarity in Talvanese. Most famous for its gargantuan lighthouse, Fire Watch also hosts one of the largest publicly accessible libraries in all of eastern Tamriel. From Fire Watch, roads lead north to Baloira and south, through winding mountain passes, towards Rainian Rune. Beyond the mountains around Fire Watch stands Tel Wada, a magnificent Talbani city that appears to float on the swift currents of the Boswada River as it rushes into Dunaki Bay. A visitor would do well to avoid drawing unwanted attention here, as the ruling Talbani wizards do not take kindly to wanderers. Baloira, a busy fishing town at the tip of the Dalmalag Peninsula, once served as an important stopover for the Imperial Navy during Emperor Uriel V. Septim's ill-fated invasion of Akhavur. Though the Navy no longer garrisons there, Baloira remains a staunchly Imperial town, where merchants will gladly supply well-paying adventurers. The Netwisra Peninsula, an uninhabited landform, stretches northwest of Fire Watch towards the Isles of Shiagarad, and divides the northeastern inner sea from Nullabal Bay. The peninsula is mostly untamed wilderness. Travelers would be wise to stay south and east of Fire Watch. On the southern end of the Molkid Mountains sits Rainian Rune, a riverside town which has remained relatively undisturbed throughout the history of Morrowind. Further to the south and east, one will find Lithanese, a busy Sadrith port city looking out over Nebet Bay. From Lithanese, passage can be found to other settlements along the Paydome coast, by boat, or by River Strider. Prisoners currently being held in the cells of Akamora's guard tower. Iranur, Altmer female, accused of committing acts of blasphemy. She is to be held in Akamora until her transfer into the custody of the Order of Inquisition. Farvam Enith, Dunmer male, accused of egg poaching from a Ravelsinim egg mine.
I'm fine, thank you. What can I do for you?
I'm fine, thank you. What can I do for you?
Don't I know you from...
Akamora has quite enough of you outlanders here already, Ada. Please keep your visit short. I am an Indoro guard.
May I help you, Outlander? Do you have something to say, Outlander?
I don't think we've been introduced, Outlander. I'm Channel Ram. How can I help you?
Panakis. Words and philosophy. Lady, unfortunately, the future of the death blow of Abernanet. With explained while it stood. The Pig Children. And Sentinel to hold at bay the Pig Children. By Tistan Bane. No one, not the oldest dark elf of Mount Dagathor or the ancient sage of solitude himself, can recall a time when the orc did not ravage our fair Tamriel. Whatever foul and pestilent Didra of oblivion conjured them up could scarcely have created a more constant threat to the well-being of the civilized races of Tamriel than the obnoxious orc. Orcs are thankfully easy to recognize from other humanoids by their size, commonly 40 pertans in height and 15,000 angads in weight, their brutal pig-like features, and their stench. They are consistently belligerent, morally grotesque, intellectually moronic, and unclean. By all rights, the civilized races of Tamriel should have been able to purge the land of their blight years ago, but their ferocity, animal cunning, and curious tribal loyalty have made them inevitable as leeches in a stagnant pool. Tales of Orcish barbarity precede written record. When Jastyaga wrote of the order of Diagnes joining the armies of Daggerfall and Sentinel to hold at bay the wicked orcs in their foul Orsinium fastness, and burn out in cleansing flame in 1950, she assumed that any reader would be aware of the savagery of the orcs. When the siege was completed 30 years later, after the death of many heroes including Gaiden Shinji, and the destruction of Orsinium scattered the Orcish survivors throughout the Rothgarian mountains, she further wrote, "The free peoples rejoiced for that their ancient fell enemy was dispersed into diverse parts." Obviously, the orcs had been terrorizing the region of the Iliac Bay at least since the early years of the First Era.
Do you have...
Greetings, warrior of spell. I don't suppose you are here because of the Dridria sightings, are you? Novus Sinim is the lord of Akamora. His manor is... Solari Danaran is a former spy for the Indorens. It's common knowledge that her career was ruined when Pilou Telemas uncovered that she was spying on Lord Novus Sinim. Danaran hasn't been able to get work ever since and could have been vengeful enough to hire the assassins. Solari Danaran is staying in this very tower, on the top floor. Akamora has quite enough of you, Outlander. Why don't you find some proof before accusing me? Enwa.
How are you?
Akamora has quite enough of you Outlanders here already, Ada. Please keep your visit short. I hear she's an expert in the illusion school of magic. Supposedly she used to cast powerful invisibility spells on herself and her associates when spying on the Sinims. That is, until Pilou Telemas blew her cover and effectively ended her career.
Do you have something to say, Outlander?
Ada. Please. Ask anything of Solari Denarin. Solari Denarin is happy to help a friend. Why don't you find some proof before accusing me, Enwa?
There is no
Nosy Outlander. You just couldn't stay away, hey? You're just like Pillow Telemas. She couldn't keep her mouth shut, so I had to teach her a lesson. Now it seems you're in need of one, too.
You will die! Now you die!
Breakout. By Argal Gro Mook. And so, my murderous intentions toward Furnius revealed, I was hastily placed in a cell in the local prison. Not having had the benefit of an artificially inflated intelligence at the time, I became quite confused. Perhaps the guard had guard in excitement. Guard in excitement. We are in a dire situation. As you have failed to prevent it, you must at least make out who ordered the assassination of the Telemas. I hope Flalsaw can help you. You've executed Solari Denarin? Well done, Protector. However, since the Telemas are dead, I can't give you any rewards. The nominal fee they paid in advance will be used to give our late comrade Circus Leonos a proper burial. But do know that you've earned my utmost respect. Without you finding the culprit behind all this, the guild's standing in Akamora would have suffered a tremendous blow. Thanks to you we survived to see another day. Perhaps even another contract, too. I hope to give you new orders soon. Fighters Guild, Noble Protection. The guild has been contracted by Pillow Telemas, a retainer of the Sanim family, to provide her and her husband with bodyguards. Telemas believes someone has hired assassins to kill them and wants protection until they can flee Akamora. Circus Leonos has also been assigned to this job. He is already in Telemas Manor. I have arrived in Telemas Manor. Circus Leonos is guarding Gulen Telemas downstairs. I should inform Pillow Telemas that the guild is here. My conversation with Pillow Telemas was interrupted by noises coming from downstairs. I've defeated 2 masked assassins downstairs in Telemas Manor. However, both Guvon Telemas and Circus Leonos have been killed. Upon heading upstairs I discovered a 3rd assassin had snuck past me to kill Pillow Telemas. Though the assassins have also been killed, it seems that the guild has failed miserably. I should let Lalalvo know of this. Lalalvo ordered me to find the culprit behind the assassination of the Telemas. She sees it as the only way the guild can hope to defuse the situation. According to Lalalvo, the local guards aren't going to do a proper investigation due to the ever-growing tension between the rivaling noble houses in Akamora. She asked me to talk to her sister Flalsaw Irano, who is the head of the town's guard, and ask if she could help me with the investigation off the record. She can be found in the guard tower. Captain Flalsaw Irano listed the Indaran family, the Very family, and Solari Denarin as potential suspects. Captain Irano stressed that the political climate in Akamora is volatile and that I should be discreet, especially with the noble suspects. She warned me that should she receive word that I was causing a stir in town, she'd have me jailed rather than risk the whole situation going off. She also encouraged me to speak with Lord Novus Sinim, the former employer of the Telemas, to learn more. Novus Sinim said that I shouldn't question the Indaran family nor the Very family, as it would only upset them. Instead, he suggested that I talk to the Moragtong in Akamora to find out if they know who the assassins were. I was told to talk with Federal Verothran, a Moragtong member in the guild hall downstairs. Verothran often keeps company with unsavory people, so he might know who the hired killers were. Federal Verothran admitted knowing the assassins who killed the Telemas and Circus Leonos. According to him, they were low-class thugs whom none of the noble families in Akamora would ever hire. This rules out the Indaran family and the Very family, leaving Solari Denarin the only remaining suspect. I should ask around town if someone has something incriminating on her before confronting her. I've learned that Solari Denarin is an expert in the illusion school of magic, especially in the invisibility spells. This explains how the 3 assassins could sneak into Telema's manor unseen. I should confront Solari Denarin. I've confronted Solari Denarin. She admitted to hiring the assassins to get back at Pilou Telemas, and attacked me. Solari Denarin is dead. I should report back to Lalalvo Irano. Lalalvo Irano was relieved to hear I had found and taken care of the culprit behind the assassination of the Telemas.